It's a time for presenting NA in the Islamic community. The Iranian Fellowship will make a presentation on how to present Narcotic Anonymous in an Islamic setting. Said gonna be presenting it, and Maysam, also Reza gonna be the translator. Tanya, you can take a break now. Said, please.
Hey. Yes, thank you. Hi again. My name is Said, and I'm an addict. Thank you. Thank you for your service, Nita, Eric, and Simon. Great share. Thank you very much. And everybody else, Amita. I don't think I have enough time, to be quite honest with you guys, to go over about 16 pages of this subject. But what I can do, decided to do, is that to present this presentation to you guys, especially to the members of HNDI maybe, and mostly PR people that are in service in PR committees or workshops anywhere, especially in Islamic communities. Well, what we had about 15 years ago, if I recall, I'm not sure about the date exactly, but roughly is about more than maybe 15 or 16 years ago, we came up with this booklet on public relation in Islamic community, and that was because we had here in Iran, Islamic Republic of Iran, the government, and the clergies, we had to get to them and start a relation and present what is NA and who we are, what we do, and what we don't do, and where they can find us, and many questions that they had in their mind, and of course many fake or fake information or wrong information that they had about our fellowship. So the complete work after a couple of years, we came up with this booklet, and that's our experience. When we want to elect trusted servants, of course, when we are going to vote for a PR chairman, we have to go with our fourth concept, and we have to know that that person has the ability and has the experience to be elected and elected as a servant. Of course, other people that are in the committee, they are not well, it's trusted, but they are not being voted for as a chairperson or whatever. They should look appropriate. I mean, appropriate dressing, clothing, and suitable appearance. You know, I mean, we had some. I personally, I was a chairperson for Metro Committee. That's before area committee in Iran. We have Metro committees here, and the experience I had was this: in that committee that I was the chairperson. Some people, some members, they would like to come and serve in that committee, PR committee, in a PR Metro committee, as I would say. And, well, they didn't really fit to that committee, to be quite honest. I mean, you know, the way they would like to carry on, they would like to walk and talk and dress, it wasn't appropriate for such a service. So that's one thing we have to have in mind. I mean, sometimes maybe I, as a person, am not made for this service, as to where sometimes I, as a person, maybe am not good for being in H&I committee. You know, as I recall, in our 12th step says that we can serve and be in service, but every of us, we are made for something and some service, which we will be doing it better than others. You know, some of us can be a chairperson, and some of us can be a chair of a committee. Some people can be, just a secretary. I mean, different position and different ability. So we have to look for those things. Anyway, so I don't have the time so much, as I said. Maybe I should go to other pages. Basic preparation items to have or take with us. As I said, we have to have our booklets, our pamphlets, and some materials that we need to give to the people, to the clergy. And what is most important is that we talk to those is in order to introduce NA's message to the Islamic clergy. We use two different methods, direct and indirect. So indirect method, we ask doctors, police, government officials, or other experts who have a good rapport with clergy to introduce us. That worked very good in Iran, and I have this experience myself. When we talk to some of the professionals, we had been talking to them before, and we build up a good relation. As Simon said, we have to go look on a long-term relationship, not just only making a relationship and then getting something from what those people want to give us or what we want them to give us, and then forget about the relationship and let them go. As Simon said, one night stand. We have to keep up our relations with them, to call them every now and again, to say hello, we are here, how are you doing, what can we be doing for you guys, and just keep the connection. That was the difference between PI, public information, and PR, public relation. Relationships are very important, and that's where is my weak point, because I had a bad relation with myself, with others, and with my higher power. And what the 12th step wants to do with me is exactly, recovering those three. And because of those, it's a good place to work on those, working on a relationship with others. So those people, professionals like doctors, psychiatrists, counselors, they can recommend us to the clergies. And when we establish a relation with the clergy, then we can use that person and get a recommendation letter to link us or to connect us with other clergies. And that been working here in Iran very good, and it's a good experience we have. Anyway, so indirect is that. And directly is when we go to the person or a clergy ourselves. Method of approaching our target audience. The direct method we find reputable and effective and religious or spiritual leaders to connect. Remember that the key to success is that in our first attempts of bringing the NA message to these clerks, clergies, or we should select the ones who are educated. This is very important. We can start from to find a person, to talk to them before we go to present, to evaluate that person's behavior and attitude, exactly the attitude, towards our fellowship and towards addiction and these problems, social problems. And when we find a person who is educated, who has been going in internet, and who is being having some good, basic information of the whole thing about the addiction, that would be much, much easier to start from that point. That should be our starting point. It's much easier to build up a good relation with that clergy. So we can go on and do a presentation with those, and doing a presentation being with the name of God, beginning with the name of God. This is very important. We have to look somehow and make them to feel that we are not against them. We are not against religion, and also, it's very important to start with in the name of God, Bismillah, or Rahman Rahim, in the name of God only, very simple, Benam Khoda, things like that. It's very important. It makes a good impression for them. If you choose to, you may use such slogan or saying as saving an addict is not just saving one person's life, but saving a community. This is based on a sentence from Quran, but it's not directly about the addict. It's about the savings a person's life. It's not just a person's life, but it's saving the community's life. It is a bigger saving, many lives than only one person. So based on that, we've used that, and we built, we came up with this saying or slogan that saving addicts' life is not just an addict's life, but is the community's, many people's life, and that is very good, and it makes it very understandable for the clergies. Explaining how we talk, what we talk about. We don't talk about religious things. We don't talk about or any religious, any typical religion. We don't talk about other religion. We don't promote any religion. We just are addicts, and many addicts are with many different religious and beliefs. So addiction is not just, addiction, it goes beyond religious. A person, Christian person can be addict, Islamic or Muslim can be addict, or Buddhist can be addict. Any beliefs, any person with any beliefs can be addict. This is not anything to do with just religion. It goes beyond religion. So that's a good point to make also. And explanations, briefly explain about the addict and the disease of addiction and its worldwide effect, of course, how it's affected the whole world, and many people are suffering, many addicts are suffering, and the fact that there is no known cure for this disease. In this particular point, I always use the diabetes. Some of them, they wouldn't understand. They say, why? it's not, I mean, how come you started using, now you just put down and you quit and that's it. And what I have to explain, or what we have to explain to them, that the disease is not so easy to just stop using, yes, but we cannot cure the disease. It's just like being a diabetes, you know, you can control it, but you cannot cure it. And they may relate, they would most probably, most of them, they relate to that example. So that's a good example. Anyway, I don't think I have much time left. I hope to go on. And anyway, I mean, we have this experience, and as I said, there are many pages here. I don't think I have enough time. It takes a whole workshop, maybe an hour or more, to go through all of this deeply and to talk about it, to get experience from other PR members. And we are willing to share with you this PowerPoint, and also the booklet is has been uploaded in the now's NA.Org, and is available. You can have it downloaded. And also, we will be more than happy to share our experience with you. And if you would like, we can, you know, do some presentation and then help you with these topics. And also, it's very important to talk about the history of PR and history of our fellowship in different Islamic countries. The growth of our fellowship, especially NA in Islamic countries, name them, is very important, it's very effective. For example, Pakistan, Egypt, Gulf countries, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Malaysia, Indonesia, and many other, you know, that we can come up, like Afghanistan, Kyrgyzstan, and describe and tell them the theoretic value of one addict sharing with another and helping another addict. And that's very important. That's we only can understand another addict who is been in suffering and who has been where we were, and we can understand, we can relate to each other much better than anybody else in the world. And that's the great value of an addict helping another addict, and an addict can understand another addict much better than any other person who didn't have the same experience of being in suffer of addiction. We can talk about the 12 steps and, you know, briefly tell them, you know, what are the 12 steps, and also the 12 tradition, of course. Well, this is, again, very important, that spirituality and not religion. Even though the NA is not a religious program, many of our members are Muslims. We have to, you know, make that bold and highlight for those people, for colleges that we go, we talk to them, who have found their spirituality in Islam. We also have other members who use other religious and as their source of spirituality. So, you know, we can always listen to them and ask them if they have any question. We would be happy to answer. And many times they talk about a fourth step, and they say it's a confession. We say, no, it's not confession. We admit. Admitting and confession there are two different things, and that's what's been causing us lots of problem here. But we overcame those problems, and we've got good experience on those points, we can, share with you guys anytime that you would like us, and we would be happy to reach out. Thank you very much. Thanks for allowing me to share in such a short time this long presentation. And as I said, we always be more than happy to work with you, and thank you very much.